Squirt, there's nothing to be afraid of. Race you down to the basement.
Well, somebody's still having issues. Welcome back, everyone, to Hot Lava. That's right, we are now in the basement world, which is the final of what I would consider the core worlds in the game. Basically the ones that have... how to explain it? This game doesn't really have a story, but they're the ones that seem to be going through the main character's day with his sister. So this would be while we are back home, I'm assuming after the main villain from the intro attacked us and we're very scared, and now we're running through the basement to try to blow off some steam. I didn't have a basement growing up, but I imagine it wouldn't look anything like this. One thing we want to get out of the way real quickly is that the target clear times for the basement are kind of insane when you look at them. One of them has a 45-second clear time, and yeah, that's ridiculous. So while school may have required a lot of technical skill and tight jumps to make those clear times, Basement honestly feels just like a giant game of find the exploit. So you saw back at the beginning of the level, rather than, you know, going around in the loop as you get to the top like they planned for you to get the clear time, you actually have to jump up the putty that you find right after the first set of jumps. Otherwise, you have no hope of making the time. So honestly, I'm not a big fan of the level design in this world, specifically because if you want to play it well, it's less about being good and more about just beating your head into the wall until you find what you're actually, until you find the big shortcut they put in to shave minutes off of your level time. And currently I am lost looking for the second level. Past me, you're not going to find it down here. Go back upstairs. What are you doing? Oh, well, I guess we found Buddy at least. Hey, Buddy. We will get back to you eventually. But yes, as you can see, we're now in the main character's home. It's a neat enough house. I saw the red solo cups, and there are those oversized interlocking things everywhere. Alright. Yes, so this is the mission with the 45-second clear time. I tried so hard to make this one, I couldn't do it. So I'm just going to get through this level as quickly as I can, and if anyone knows the trick to this one, feel free to let me know in the comments, because I haven't been able to figure it out. But you do get this neat little segment where you have to use the putty to jump on an ascending set of platforms. That is a pretty cool set piece. And way back in the first part, when I mentioned that it's good to practice the angled platforms, this room is what I was thinking of, because you go through this room a lot in the basement levels, and as you can see, because of the angle, they're very difficult to stay on, but you can build up a ton of speed if you do. So, like I said, still haven't quite figured those out. I don't know, maybe the key to beating this level quickly is to just hit these as quickly as you can, because I think on a near-perfect run you have 15 seconds to get through this room, and maybe if you hit those perfectly on the first try, you'll get it. I don't have that kind of patience. Alright, but that's 2 levels down. The one nice thing about these levels is if you are going for the good clear time, they go very quickly. Okay. And here we go, onto Temple Sprint. Given that this game came out in 2018, I feel like that's maybe a bit of a dated reference, but what do I know? Are people still playing Temple Run now? Anyways, this part of the level explores actually a very interesting segment. So while you have all those angled platforms above, you have all these small pillars and wooden structures you can move around on. It's actually a really cool area. Alright. Let's see. Remember this little segment right here. It'll be relevant in a level or two. Like I said, a lot of the times, if you're aiming for quick clear times in these missions, you really just gotta ignore the suggested path. So as you can see, the path is behind me, and I'm completely ignoring that in favor of just making a beeline for the level exit across the other side of the room. Couple careful jumps to make sure I don't splatter against the ground. In fact, I actually saw a checkpoint down there, so the intended way is to get around that room the long way and then jump up a series of platforms to here. But that is way too slow for a 1.5-minute clear time. You'll never make it doing that. Alright. So, we're actually halfway done with the levels in Basement. Like I said, playing it casually, I think this world took me about 2 hours to finish because these levels can be quite daunting the first few times through. But playing it going for the best clear times, it really doesn't look like it takes that long. Alright, so remember how I said in a level or two this segment would be relevant? Yeah. Normally this has you going all across the bottom of this level and then back out into the main area and around some more until you come back here. Or if you remember that this little segment is here, you can literally just skip to a checkpoint that I hit but didn't actually spawn in. Yep. Or I'm just going completely the wrong way, but yeah, you get the idea. So rather than working your way all around there, you can just climb up to that checkpoint, and that puts you so close to the end. In fact, I think I jumped like 8 checkpoints or something like that. Yeah, but this level makes great use of the putty, honestly. Like, you don't see too much of it outside of school, but here it is, school and some wholesale, but here it is super helpful. Yeah. Trying for a 2-minute clear time going the intended route, you're not going to make it. Alright. So fancy footwork is done. And, yep, if you're not careful, you can accidentally fall to your death in your own entryway. 0 out of 10 would not recommend doing that. So make sure you are falling onto something other than the floor. Alright. Here we go, into Minecart Madness. Or Minecart Carnage, my mistake. So this is another one. The intended path, you actually go through that door and around and up. Or you can just repeat this segment from the first level and get over here, which you need to go through anyway. Use that putty to jump up, and where'd the music go? Did I just hear what I thought I heard? If that was what I thought I heard, that's dark. So, if you couldn't guess based on the sudden dramatic shift in tone, there is something else going on here. I think what's going on with this game is that the main character's parents are getting a divorce for, based on what we just heard, reasons that should be uncomfortably obvious, and I think this is just the main character's way of escaping from all that stress from a situation a child is just not equipped to handle. Whew. Yeah, so Basement takes a very sudden, dark turn on the second to last level. But yeah, I don't even know how to follow that up. Just got some challenging little jumps here in and around the main character's house. Kind of an interesting little blend of fantasy and reality here in this last segment. So, artistically, great, fun to play through. Yeah. Alright. But in just a moment, there we go. We get back into it and the music kicks back in like nothing ever happened. I know you can go through that hallway in some of the other missions. I don't know if that segment is there in those missions. I'm assuming there's probably either that segment doesn't actually exist outside of this mission, or there's one of those blue grids blocking you off. Might have to try that. Also, rather than deal with the angled platforms, I decided to just walk around them. You can do some jumps to get here to the end, and we only have one more mission, everyone. Yeah, here we go. Chase the Meaning. The last chase mission of the core worlds. You do not have to follow the AI for this one in these opening bits, so as you saw, I just cut that corner rather than jumping onto the handhold, and I cut a corner again because I knew, played this so much, I know where the AI is going. Which is good because this segment right here is very tricky. You just kind of gotta take it a little slowly. The AI doesn't get far enough away from you to pose a threat unless you fall off, so just take it slowly enough to make sure you don't fall off, and there you go. Sub 40-second level clear. Alright, and that just leaves the trials. And wouldn't you know, the Tiny Toy trial is right there. Yeah, compared to the other worlds in this game, this world is actually very small. Like, the overworld here is very small, so it's hard to get lost, and for the most part, you're going to be able to find things pretty quickly. Unless you're me and you just go downstairs when every level you're looking for, besides the last two, is on the top. Jump up here. This Tiny Toy segment is actually one of the shorter ones in the game, so it doesn't take too much. You just kind of jump around the basement a bit, get launched up to the second floor, and jump around there. So very quick to finish. Now, this world does not have multiple pogo trials. They go back to only having one for this. And this is actually a very challenging pogo trial. So you may notice that every one of these is actually on a separate, like, elevation. So there's a very specific order you want to handle them in, and I'm kind of starting here with the highest one, and then you want to try to take care of all of them descending from there as you just kind of loop around the level. You can recover if you fall too far to get one of them. It just takes a very, very long time to do so. So I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend just kind of taking them one at a time. Use the paths you've learned through the other levels to just make sure you get to them. Almost done here. Just 3 more. So we got this one. We got to see one right over there. I'm just looking for the best place to jump across, which is right in front of me. Here we go. Yep. Catch the trampoline here to make this easy. And then, yeah, the last one's just a kind of a quick hop across the bottom level. Perfect. And yeah, that's really it for the basement. So from an aesthetic standpoint, really cool world. Goes a little quickly for my taste. And you may be wondering, what about Masterclass or the community levels? We will handle those at some point. For now, I'm going to call it here on Hot Lava. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.